How's it going? I just thought I would make an update video. Haven't gone live for a little while. But anyways, I just decided to make the title what I have to say, I guess, is that I'm financing a new vehicle. And that's because, as a rural carrier, I'm pretty much relying on my vehicle and it's going to do a lot of damage to it. It's going to need brakes and everything um, checked up a lot. And so I knew that I was getting a pretty big check this week coming up, and I was looking at Facebook Marketplace, and there was like some local people selling some SUVs and vehicles for like $1,000, and I was probably going to make like a couple grand or something on my next check. And I thought, this might be a chance to jump the gun and get like a cheap used vehicle. Well, one that I was initially looking at got sold, and so I was kind of on the hunt for something else. And there were some cars and stuff from local sellers, but it's kind of like I don't know if I trust it. They say that there's certain things that are wrong with it or whatever. And so then I saw some advertisements for there's a local dealership. I didn't even know that we had a dealership in town, but we do. And they had some SUVs advertised for like under 5 grand. And I was like, well, I'm making like a couple grand on this. I could make like a big down payment on it, and maybe I can get financed, or maybe I can have a cosigner or something. My credit's not really great, and I've been wanting to build credit. So I talked to them, and I filled out an application for financing, and so they got me a deal, and they said I didn't need a cosign or anything. They're just going to work with me, and there was a bank that was able to finance it, and so everything sounded good. And I mean, long story short, I got the vehicle, and I haven't really paid a penny on it yet, but I'm going to be paying. I'm going to pay the vehicle. Basically, they're selling it for like 4,500. It's a Saturn Vue. It's a SUV. It's a 2008. It's a year newer than my Pontiac Torrent. It's a little smaller. The body and everything is in really good condition. The only thing that they said that was an issue was that they said they had like electrical issues with it. And basically what they meant was like the sensors were bad or something, because there were like dashboard lights on. Well, my Pontiac Torrent, I've already got, some of the dashboard lights on. And so I've had that in a lot of vehicles. That just happens, they come on even though nothing's wrong. And so I was like, if that's it, then, that's not really a major concern for me. I got to take it for a test drive. Everything sounded good. Everything ran fine. Brakes worked and everything, and all the lights, and it's really quiet. So I went ahead with the deal. So it was like 4,500, and I'm gonna make a 950 down payment. I was gonna do like 1,000. They said they took 50 off. They told me that I can pay part of the down payment now and part of it next time. Basically, my payments are going to be about 175 a month for 30 months, which is quite a bit. But I think that I'm going to make it work. I'm going to have to. So, but it's going to help my credit. So I have a backup vehicle. And what was important to me is if I could drive it sitting in the middle. Was there a center console, and was I going to be able to work with it? They had another Kia SUV that he wanted to sell me for like the same price. That was 4-wheel drive, and the Saturn that I bought is not. It's front-wheel drive. But there were some other features about this Kia that was supposed to be better. But I mean, I don't know. The Saturn's newer and it's got less miles. It had 160,000 miles on it. So this Kia had like 190,000. But the Kia, I could not sit in the middle because it had like a straight center console. There was like no way to get around that. Hey, how's it going, Richard? Yeah, I got a Saturn Vue 2008. I got it financed, and I'm gonna have to make the payment. So I'm gonna have to make sure that I get hours, and so that's something I want to talk about too. But so I got a backup vehicle. Now I was saying that they said that there was issues with the dashboard lights, and well, today my vehicle died. I mean, it wouldn't start when I went out to start it. So one of the lights that was on was like the back hatch, and so I thought it was just a light that was on or whatever, but I never, I haven't had time to mess with it much. So I opened the back hatch and I checked it out and everything and made sure it could shut. So I think the back door was actually open and it drained the battery. I think that it needs a new battery. Now after I charged it, I jumped it with my other vehicle and then I shut the back hatch and then all the dashboard lights went off. So all the ones that were on went off. So I think it's like a battery issue. I'm hoping anyway. I'm going to take it to Napa and get the battery checked. They're closed today. It's Sunday. So hopefully tomorrow, hopefully it'll start again. If not, then I might just jump it and run it up there, but I'll take it up to Napa and they'll check my battery. See, I've got a Pontiac Torrent that's a 2006. So I guess this is actually 2 years newer, but this is a 2008, I think. But my Pontiac Torrent had to get a battery not too long ago because it never had a new battery and it was worn down. And so I'm thinking if there was never a new battery in the Saturn, then its time is probably over. So I'm hoping that's it. Hopefully the battery is bad. It just needs a new one. And it's good from them because everything seems to be working fine besides that. But as far as the hours go at work, so I week because all the training and just doing my rural route, my regular who I cover for, she wanted extra days off. I had like 4 days of the rural route a couple weeks ago, and I had like 3 days this week. And the other days that I wasn't working, they used me on the city side because the city carrier has been sick and he was gone all week. So they trained me how to do the drives in the city where there's some streets that have mounted mailboxes. And so that's just like my rural driving basically, but they're a lot closer, but you're just going, from house to house. But then they have the park and loops where that's where you get the mail bag and you get out and you walk around like so many blocks. You go up and down the street. I'm starting to learn the streets in town a lot more, the names of them, and then you got different blocks, like the 100 block, the 200 block, and usually you have like odds on one side of the street and even on the other side of the street, something like that. The number system's still confusing to me, kind of. I don't know how they come up with the numbers, how they skip numbers and stuff, but it's basically odds on one side and even on the other, and each block is like the 300 block, the 400 block, whatever. So they've also had me drive and deliver packages to where in town in the city to where I just load up. We've got 3 city routes. So if I do like City One's packages, then they give me like all of City One's packages and I go onto those streets and I deliver them. And usually they help me and they write a list of, what house has what packages and how many they have and stuff. So, and they try to do it in order. But I'm learning. So the times I did the park and loop, like when I first started, I did it with somebody, a clerk went with me, and I think I talked about this a little bit, but first of all, she walked with me and did like half of it, like she carried some of it and I carried some of it, and then the second time I carried it all by myself. They were some hot days that we worked. I don't know how hot the weather was, like 90 degrees or something, but it was hot and it was exhausting. It was making my feet sore with blisters. The strap was killing my shoulder. I just kept it on one side all the time. And then the other day, they're like, you can switch sides or whatever. It's like, oh, yeah, that makes it better. Switch it to the other side. But you have your DPS, you have your flats, and you have what you call their spurs, which is the small packages. So the DPS is the letters that are already in route order. Even though there's a lot of missense in there's a lot of mistakes and stuff, but you get mail from other towns and stuff. It's not perfect, but basically the DPS is the letters which are in order. And then the flats are like your magazines, your loose stuff, whatever. And then the spurs, those are the small packages. And so when you do a park and loop, you take those all with you. And basically, you're going to lay your flats like on your arm, the magazines and stuff up on your arm. You're going to be holding the letters, the DPS in your hand, and you're going to have the mail bag on, and you're going to have like the spurs, like the small packages, and everything is going to be in the bag. So you're seeing what house is next. So it kind of stunk those days. For one, it was hot, and I got worn out. But also, the person who I was working with, her pace was like go 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 really fast, and I felt like I was having to like sneak in drinks of water because she was just like go go go. Like the third day, they had me do just a portion by myself, and it had rained, and it was cooler that day because like there was no the sun out, like it was cloudy and stuff, and so it was pretty cool weather. And I did a couple parking loops by myself, and I enjoyed that. I mean, I think being able to pace myself better is a big thing, and not having the heat is a big thing. But a big thing is just learning it, just knowing what houses are on the streets and stuff, um, and just knowing where to go and everything. So that helps out. So the big thing is that this week, well, like when I first started, they had me do sort packages because like one of the clerks was on vacation or whatever. And last week I helped in the city a lot because one of the city carriers was like sick all week. This week they're supposed to have everybody. They're supposed to have all the clerks. They're supposed to have all the city carriers. The only day I'm scheduled for is Saturday. So unless my regular changes her mind like she did last week and she adds on more hours, then I'm not scheduled for anything. So I'm just on call. So, but my postmaster said that she will give me, I mean, basically, I can learn other rural routes because I am a rural carrier assistant and we have 4 rural routes. None of them have subs. If any of the other people call in or anything, I'm down to come in and help. So what I want her to do, hopefully, is that she's going to train me on another rural route. So, I do rural route ones. I'm her main sub. So she should let me train on rural route 2 next. She told me whenever I was comfortable, I could do it. So we'll see. I mean, I feel like I already am comfortable because my route is evaluated at 7 hours. And that's when they typically they think that you should be able to get it done in 7 hours, on a normal day. Which is basically, like 8 to 3. And the last couple days I've gotten done. One of the days, my fastest time was 2:10. I got done in 2:10. And, it could be like the mail was lighter and stuff then, but, there was still a lot of mail. And then like the other day I was done, probably around the same time, maybe 2:15, 2:20. So I'm getting it done like an hour earlier than the evaluated time. I'm getting really comfortable with it. Like I'm not having to look at the map or notes or directions or anything anymore. Really, I look at. I mean, I'm basically kind of going by names now. Like I know the people's names, not even just the numbers of the mailboxes and stuff, but like I'm knowing their names. Like all I have to do is look at the name on the letter, and I'm like, okay, this is coming up. I know where this is or whatever. Weird times. Read 2 Timothy 3:1-7. Now you know where we are at on God's timetable. No comment needed. Well, that's what I wanted to talk about too, is that I want to do more Bible studies, and maybe I'll have some time tonight to look at things. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I want to start listening to sermons and stuff while I'm driving and get some ideas and learn. I haven't yet, but I've downloaded sermon audio on my phone. So I'm not sure exactly, when I'm going to start or how I'm going to do that, but I'm going to work my way back into being on the ball with Bible studies. And let's see. So hopefully she's going to let me learn another rural route, but I can also do rural routes for other stations. So 2 Timothy 3:1-7. This know also that in last days perilous times shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. For this sort are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. You know, I know what you might apply this to, Richard, but I kind of wonder more about what the term last days means. In the last days of what? Because what are you thinking, in the last days of the earth or the last days before the rapture? In the last days. See, I'm more intrigued about that phrase. Fires out west, Ezekiel 2:45-47. Well, I tell you what, if you're talking about California, that is just there's a lot of good people in California, but I mean, just the government and just a lot of the sin that goes on there and stuff, that state is terrible. Sounds like Kumo. Didn't he resign? Yeah. Had a friend in New York. I wonder what it's like with all those crazy lockdowns and stuff. I'm wanting to get a fishing pole on payday. I haven't been fishing in a long, long time, and I don't know how to clean fish. So my dad, hopefully, he's got a pond, and he has some fish in it. So hopefully, next Sunday, I'm planning on going fishing with my dad, and hopefully, we're gonna catch some, and he's gonna show me how to fillet it. That's something that I'm interested in doing. And the weather right now is like perfect for that here in Illinois. Over the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face toward the south, and drop thy word toward the south, and prophesy against the forest of the south field, and say to the forest of the south, Hear the word of the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will kindle a fire in thee, and it shall devour every green tree in thee, and every dry tree. The flaming flame shall not be quenched, and all faces from the south to the north shall be burned therein. Yeah, God's wrath. Pretty powerful, huh? That is interesting to apply that to California. Well, Richard, I think I'm going to get off here for now. I just wanted to make a quick video, and I might do a Spreaker audio recording later or something. I don't know what's going to happen this week because I'm only scheduled for Saturday, so it's going to be interesting to see if they work me, how they work me, what's going to happen, and am I going to be able to make enough hours just from this, to cover everything. So I'm pretty sure that I will. First Thessalonians 5:3, Israel thought they had peace, safety. They were 90% vaccinated. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know much about that situation. What's going on with Israel? Because they're having like a resurgence of COVID or something, or is it because of their? I don't know. There's a lot of things going on in the news that I haven't been keeping up with. I have been watching Fox a little bit lately out of boredom, really, because I don't even know if I'm really a big fan of Fox anymore. But there are some people on there, I guess, that are interesting. But fire started in Southern California and then moved north. All right, Richard, I'm going to get off of here for now. So hopefully I'll see you on here again soon and I'll have more to talk. So have a good one.